So today we're sitting down with David Chernitzky, co-founder of Armor Cybersecurity, and the question of the day is about email security. So today we want to talk about something that happens to all of us many times a day. We get emails. We are bombarded with emails, but not many of us realize that the threats is beyond just spam. So maybe you can talk about how common those email attacks are, David.
Amit, I think it's very common. I'm always sitting and wondering if we can find today one person on this globe that was not attacked via email. I will be very surprised.
There are statistics saying 90% of cyber attacks are starting with an email.
Yeah, it is absolutely correct. And we see across our customer base the amount of attacks and the intensity of those attacks is just getting worse every day. So and like you said, statistics showing that about 90% of successful attacks initiated via email. And we should not be surprised because email, it is still primary and the main means to communication in business. And it doesn't matter what kind of system do you use. Do you use Office 365, G Suite, some legacy solutions? It is very common situation today.
So attacks are getting more sophisticated and more aggressive. What a bad email can do?
So maybe let me try to unwrap it from a bit slightly different direction. Let me explain what type of attacks, email attacks are out there. Most common email attack is phishing email, right? That bad actors trying to gain access to employees' credentials with intent to get back to that environment and try to expand their foothold inside of a client's organization. Another type of attack is a weaponized malware file. And it's as simple as is. You have a attachment that coming to you via email. Most of the people don't think just click on it, but there are multiple scenarios how it can be weaponized. And we have plethora of examples if you're an HR agency and you're getting CVs of people every day, how do you know that you're not getting infected once you're opening a totally normally looking file, right? Because bad actors trying to obscure their infections in very different ways. Another thing is business account takeover or impersonation. Basically, a certain business account is taking over many times CEOs or C-level getting impersonated, and then attackers trying to manipulate different employees in the organization or clients of this organization to get beneficial information or extort money in this way or another way. Another type of attack that is actually not very common, but should be looked at is the internal threat. And we dealt quite with a few cases where organizations are totally blind in terms of what's happening inside. And as a result, they've been damaged, and if you're not aware of internal threat, you should be thinking about it today. And last but not least, a major category is data leakage, which is may result, for example, in a large amount of emails auto-forwarded to some external addresses, or a large amount of files from OneDrive or G Drive downloaded without permission and authorization from organizations. So those are different types of attacks that people should considering to protect themselves from at these days.
So many of our clients, or many of the people asking the questions, think that Office 365 and Gmail and whatever solution they're using comes out of the box with those type of security measures and prevention. I assume it's not the case.
This is a major misconception here. While there are some basic security measures out of the box in Office 365 and G Suite, though those tools geared up towards one thing: simplicity and comfort of use. There are some additional add-ons that you can purchase, which are quite costly, but they also require a very high level of expertise on how to configure it, which most of the people and most of IT guys don't know really how to do it. And as a result, you have most of organizations not protected properly. So this is an unfortunate reality today.
So what do you look for in a good email solution? And for guys that are listening from the SMB space, is it easy or complicated to deploy and implement?
So it's actually a great question. What you should look at the protection solution, you should actually look for a specialist, and there are quite a few solutions, and we in Armor specifically partner today with the leading solutions that we help SMBs to implement the enterprise-grade protection for their email system and their collaborative systems. Like I mentioned, it's a SharePoint, OneDrive, G Drive, Box, Slack, you name it. And working with specialists,
because those are subjected to the same level of threats.
Of course. And those tools actually helping to improve prevention and the stoppage rate of malware or phishing emails delivered in some cases to 99.91%, which is significantly better than out-of-the-box tools today. So, and another thing that those enterprise-grade tools, unfortunately, many times considered as out of reach for small and medium guys. And we are actually crushing this myth. It is not. We are taking those enterprise-grade tools, we are wrapping it up with our expertise, and we are bringing it to a small and medium guys. And it's actually, for us, it's extremely easy to deploy that. For example, email protection, we can onboard client today, be it 50 people or 150 people, in about 30 minutes. And of course, there is some activities we're doing on the back end, but for client, it's totally transparent, and all they need to do is to enjoy less spam, enjoy less phishing, enjoy less malware, and focus on their business.
That enhances your productivity or your employees' productivity as well.
Of course. And it increases your productivity because you don't need to think now, can I open this file or should I do something else? You just need to focus on your business, correct? Or
wrestle with a lot of false positives that are stuck somewhere in the spam folder and not in your inbox.
Yeah, it's also true, correct.
Okay, so you touched on the word prevention, and I think that's a great way to summarize one of the key benefits around email security, which is stopping the threat or the attack even before it lands on your side of the business, on your devices. Is that one of the main benefits here?
Absolutely. And in our cybersecurity, we are big believers in prevention, because a cyber attack has a certain life cycle. And the earlier you catch it, the easier to deal with it. And we are actually working with our technology partners, and our team is extremely proactive. We are trying to prevent any threat before it actually reaches our clients' organizations, be it C-level or a clerk in an office. And by taking this approach, being preventive, we actually helping our clients to save money and be focused on their business, which is a paramount today, especially at this climate where you hear every day that big organizations and small organizations getting hammered by cyber attacks,
especially in a remote first environment.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you, David.
Thanks, Amit. And if you're interested to hear about how we can help your organization to secure email and the collaborative platforms, give us a shout. We gladly will jump on a call and we will do a demo. And looking forward to hear from you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Amit.